Go, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
After scoring this goal, Ego, who was watching, made an interesting comment. So that's your true form, Yoichi Isagi. It seems to be that the flow state bends to your own will. Isagi's reawakened aura shows itself as we finally see the animal that he represents, a fierce predator like a jaguar. I know I said a panther before in the other part, but I'll switch it to a jaguar here, who's a close relative and who I think fits better. Jinpachi Ego continues to watch this match as Isagi dominates, scoring goals, with Kira being able to get the ball to him. As after the match is when Team Z confronts Kira on why he helped Isagi so much. I don't have to explain myself to you. Isagi will become the best, and I'll see to it. After this match, Isagi walks around the facility and goes to grab some food. As he was in line, someone skipped him. Isagi looks at the player and smiled. "Stay out of my way, runt." Isagi pushes the player, causing two others to confront him. "Hey, keep your hands off of Nagi." Isagi then pushes Ryo away as well, with Zantetsu grabbing him on his shoulder. Wait a minute. This guy. He's insanely strong. Isagi pushes both of them off of him and gets his food. How annoying. Ryo begins yelling, and Zantetsu tells him who that is. That's the player on Team Z who has more goals than even Nagi. But what's a player like that doing on the worst team? Isagi eats his food alone until those three sit right in front of him. Ryo asked him how many goals he had and he scored in the last match, and Isagi ignored him. He kept asking questions, but Isagi just eats his food. This is when Kira enters the cafeteria and sits with them. "There you are, Isagi. Who are they?" "Hell if I know." Kira then tells him that they need to get some rest for the next match, and Ryo comments how they're playing each other, making Kira smile. "Well then, it's decided. Our next victory will be against your team." Isagi agrees and stands up. "Let's go, runt. I want to sleep somewhere that no one can bother me." Isagi wakes up the next day with Kira, waiting for him to get ready. They step into the locker room of Team Z, getting glares but pay it no mind. Yoichi calls Kira a coward for the way he plays, causing Isagi to slam his face into a locker. "Keep your mouth shut and play defense. That's all you're good for and that's all you need to do." Isagi steps onto the pitch first with Kira right behind him, and then Team Z follows. "So, you think you can handle them too? Doubt me again, and I'll get rid of you." Kira nods as the match would start, and Ryo passes to Zantetsu. He tries to run by Isagi, but the taller player guarded him close. "Speed, huh? What is speed, without a great control to go with it?" Isagi jabs at the ball, sending it right to Kira, who was in the midfield. Ryo was guarding him close, but Kira actually gets around him with quick dribble moves that shocks Ryo. I can almost see the goal that Isagi wishes to have. Kira then dodges the next player that comes for him, leading to a pass right back to Isagi, having the ball. Our protagonist receives it, without even looking at it, and then scores off a volley. Nagi looks to Ryo, saying that they should try that as well, as they would try to copy the very same play, only for Isagi to get in the way. He clears the ball with a header and gets it to Kunigami. He steps forward only to have Zantetsu guard him close. Before he could think of what to do, the ball was stolen by Kira, who had no presence on the field at all. "That's it, hero. Now, Isagi." He passes the ball towards goal, and Isagi speeds right by them. Zantetsu was especially shocked because his weapon was speed. Yet, it seemed Isagi was much faster. Isagi goes in, using a Ronaldo chop into a heel flick that gets him right open, as Ryo quickly cuts right in front of him, blocking off his right foot shot. "I've got you now." But Isagi guards the ball and turns his body, shooting with his left, which had the exact same amount of power. Seeing this, Jinpachi Ego now understood that Yoichi Isagi was just like Noel Noah, just lazy. Isagi then stood back up, looking to Ryo. "What? Don't look so shocked. Actually thinking you could stop me from scoring is stupid. Don't ever let that idiotic thought cross your mind again. The game resets as now Team V was trailing by 2 points. Ryo starts with the ball, but Isagi runs in, guarding him close, causing him to panic. Nagi, seeing this, for the first time, decides to move in order to win. Ryo passes in the direction of Nagi, who traps it and completely destroys Bachira and Kira. He then speeds forward past Yoichi and Kuon, who try to guard him close. Hey Zantetsu. He passes to his right, and Zantetsu goes in, scoring the first goal. Great pass, Nagi. Isagi watching this smile. That's it. He gets the ball and resets the game, dribbling forward slowly. Nagi and Ryo guard him, but can't even take the ball from him. Isagi protected it perfectly, and then suddenly smiled before bursting forward with speed that shocked everyone. Isagi flicked the ball up and performed his formless shot as he scores his third goal of the match, landing the flip, telling Team V that they stand no chance at all. Ryo and Nagi still try their best and begin passing back and forth to try and overwhelm Team Z. However, each time they get close to scoring, either Isagi or Kira or even both would stop them. In this match, Nagi does awaken, but even that isn't enough to close the gap between the two players. After their defeat, Isagi looks down at Nagi. The talent you have can only go so far alone. Unlike me, you have to train to become stronger. Isagi walks off, as now the players begin training for who knows what. Isagi himself still doesn't train and finds it all to be pointless. Well, for himself at least. But instead he helps Kira become stronger, since it will gain him even more goals in the future than he currently has. Kira's first weapon that he does gain is his own version of spatial awareness, but unlike Isagi's from the original, his, alongside his direct passes, awards goals to Isagi, not himself, as he still has to find out what his offensive weapon could be. After this training is when Team Z finally walks into another room seeing a whole bunch of players. Jinpachi Ego then explains what Blue Lock's first selection truly was, and how they would now begin the second selection. Before he could explain it, Yoichi Isagi had already entered the first stage of it. He was walking down the hallway, looking bored as ever, wanting to go to sleep, but ends up in a large room with only a goal. This is when a goalkeeper appears to him, and the ball shoots directly from a wall, causing Isagi's reaction, well, to begin, as he reacted quickly and then scored, with no effort at all. That's it? How boring. Jinpachi Ego was in the main surveillance room watching everyone progress, and then realized soon that Yoichi Isagi hadn't missed a single goal yet. Wait, that can't be possible. No. His assistant then questions his reaction, as she would look at the screen as well to see Isagi performing shots that curve right into the goal. Minutes later, Isagi walked out the same time as another player, Itoshi Rin. Both have the same thought, as this was a challenge that had appeared to them. Isagi and Rin decide not to speak and wait on someone else to appear, as eventually they do. Soon, even Kira makes it out, causing Isagi to now stand up. Alright, let's go. Isagi grabs Kira for his team, as well as Nagi, who left Ryo wanting to play with him. They decide to go into the next room, seeing Rin, Tokimitsu, and Aryu. Alright, seems you three are ready as well. Let's play. They would waste no time and get to their first match on the pitch. Isagi's team starts with the ball, and they head forward right into the defense. Rin doesn't guard him, so it makes it much easier for him just to get around both players and score an easy goal. Looking back at him, Rin wasn't amused, since he could do the same as well. He places the ball back in the middle and then shoots from there. As soon as he lifts the ball off of his foot, the head of Isagi blocks it and the ball bounces to Nagi. Nagi heads forward on his own, mimicking the movements of Isagi, until Kira would steal the ball. Thanks, Nagi. He then uses Nagi as a shield to block Tokimitsu's view and sends the ball in the box for Isagi. Good pass, Runt. Aryu would jump with him, but Isagi then turns his body, getting in front of him, using a scissor kick to score a goal, as now it was 2-0. Isagi looks back at Rin. Don't tell me you think you can actually beat me. Whatever. You're still lukewarm. Am I now? If I'm lukewarm, I guess you're not even in the water yet. Rin resets the ball and tries to dribble around Isagi. Wait, Why can't I get around him? Is he actually that good? Isagi keeps guarding Rin with ease until Kira comes from a blind spot and steals the ball again. Wait a minute, when did he even get there? Kira turns with the ball as we now see his eyes. So, this is spatial awareness. Alright, let's finish this, Isagi. Ren runs, chasing after Isagi, who moved forward as the ball would then float to him from a pass from Kira. Isagi traps it before turning his body, spinning around Ren as he has to cut back looking around. You're too slow. Isagi then shoots with his left foot, scoring an amazing goal. Well, looks like we only need 2 more. Ren becomes aggravated and instantly shoots from the beginning once again, only to be stopped from Nagi, who traps it. Nice try, genius. Now then, since they won't pass to me, and Ryo isn't here, I'll make my own luck. Nagi dribbles forward, using his traps to get around anyone who comes at him. Kira and Tokimitsu can't even steal it from him, since he was so unpredictable. And Isagi didn't care enough. He actually kinda wanted to watch Nagi's evolution right in front of his eyes, as he would score another wonder goal. Nagi then clenches his fist in excitement, but now Ren is agitated even further. All of you are just insects in my way, and I'll destroy all of you. Ren would dash forward, controlling the ball perfectly as he attacks Nagi and Kira first. He dances around them, making them look foolish while trying to guard him. Even though they had leveled up, Ren was still in a class of his own that they haven't reached just yet. Ren then looks up, seeing the open goal. However, he could sense it. He quickly turns his head, seeing that Yoichi Isagi was right behind him, and then sent the ball flying. Too bad, you're a damn brat. With skill like that, you may be even more fun to toy with than I imagined. Isagi then dashes forward towards the ball, but first, Tokimitsu gets to it and kicks it into the goal. Isagi begins laughing at the fact that he scored, but then he has to get the final 2 goals of this match, which happen with ease. Isagi then looks down at the defeated team and decides to take Tokimitsu as their 4th player. Since you scored, you might be useful. Just play defense and get me the ball. Tokimitsu nods and walks off behind him, as he asks what kind of training they would be doing, but Isagi says that he won't be training. As soon as they make it to the next setting, Isagi goes to sleep, and for the following days he continues to do so, as during this time is when Kiro develops his spatial awareness even further, as well as his direct pass, to become a better passer for Isagi, as he's able to do so with Nagi and Tokimitsu helping during his training, which actually helps them a lot as well. During one of the days, they were approached by a familiar face. It was Ren. Tell that lucky bastard, I'm ready for a rematch. All 3 of the players nod, wondering what Isagi's been up to. Surprisingly, we see him meditating instead of sleeping. It's almost like a predator at rest in a jungle, awaiting the next challenge. The dark room he was in was soon illuminated by Kira opening the door. You ready, Isagi? It's time for you to score more goals for me. Isagi's eyes remained closed as he took a deep breath. The world of football bends to my will alone. Through football and my skill, I'll conquer it all and become the best. As the only person who could ever hope to defeat me is me. This is when we get a short time skip into the next match as we see everyone standing around on the pitch, ready to play. Isagi's team wore black jerseys, as their members were Isagi, Kira, Nagi, and Tokimitsu, while Ren's team wore white, and their members were Ren, Aryu, Bachira, and Baru. Isagi stood with the ball, looking on intensely towards them. Hey Kira, how did your training go? It went well, Isagi. I'm ready for this. Alright, Runt. Keep up with me then. I'm gonna let loose a little bit in this match. Isagi takes a step forward, only for Baru to be the first to guard him. It's payback time. Who are you again? Isagi dribbles right through him with stepovers into a quick directional turn. Before Bachira can even move, Isagi gives the ball to Kira, who looks up. I can't let him leave me in the dust like that. Kira heads forward to have only Bachira guard him. It's good to see you again, Bachira. Yeah, it is. But how does it feel being a dog for Isagi? Kira then lowers his head and bursts it forward with speed while megging Bachira. It's pretty good actually. I haven't lost since. He kicks the ball towards Isagi, who had his back to the goal. He was protecting the pass from Rin, Baru, and Aryu all at the same time. Somehow, he was still able to protect it very well, shocking everyone, but there was no way he could score from this angle, which is what he would hear them say. Isagi then watched the ball roll towards him. As he smirked, Kira began laughing, seeing this as well. Go ahead and score a magnificent goal, Yoichi Isagi. Bachira turns to Kira and then to Isagi, who flicks the ball over their heads before cutting right through them with his strength. Isagi then jumped towards the ball and hit a volley before they could even recover. That's one for us, you simpletons. All the players on Team White were now aware of how good Isagi could truly be if he tried. Ren then looks around after getting the ball, and surprisingly, passes to Baru, as both of them would use each other to devour and get forward onto the pitch. This would shock players on Isagi's team, but these two have a quick 1-2 passes that leave their opponents in the dust. Ren himself is able to dribble around Kira and Tokimitsu, but Tokimitsu recovers and stops his shot, forcing Ren to pass to Baru, who had an open area. The pass would bounce towards the king, only to be stopped by Nagi, who came out of nowhere. What a cool play, but you jerks aren't the only one who've been training. Nagi dribbles forward with immense speed, heading into the opponent's half, as he does quick in and out cuts to get himself open, alongside flicking the ball up and using his traps to his advantage, as he would now flick the ball up into the air going for a shot, but Bachira stops it from even happening. But he's devoured by Nagi's new moves, as Kira then points something out to Ren. Looks like the score is 2-0. Ren looks back to see that the ball was now mid-air, and Isagi came out of nowhere, kicking it into the goal. Not a bad move at all, Nagi, but remember, towards goal and in this box is my domain alone. Whatever, I'll get the next one. That's the spirit, keep trying. Baru then starts with the ball this time and drops it off to Bachira. This was a mistake, as a blue-haired blur dashes right by him. Wait, what the? Isagi steals it from Bachira with quick speed, as now he sees this monster again. Isagi dribbles around Aryu and was now open for the shot. Not so fast. Ren is seen body blocking it and cutting off both angles. I've got you now, Isagi. Do you really? Isagi then flicks the ball up, shocking all of them by passing to someone else. That being Kira. His eyes were now active, as his body was moving on instinct. I don't have an insane left foot like Isagi, and the ball is coming to my left foot. What can I do? I have to do something. Isagi's now open for a pass. Wait, he passed to me because he wants me to score. This is when Kira's full evolution would start to begin slowly. So this is the realm of a striker. Ren turned just in time, just to be able to see what happened, as it even shocked Isagi. Kira lifted his leg and shot the ball with the outside of his right foot, as this made it curve, and it goes right over Ren and Isagi into the goal. Kira clenched his fist, walking over to Isagi, as the two of them would high-five. Nice shot, Runt. I guess that training really did pay off. Next time when you shoot though, do it like this. Isagi corrects his movements and Kira takes note of it all. The game then resets, as they just need 2 more points, and they can move on. Ren then begins to evolve because he doesn't want to lose again, and so does Baru. While this happens, the thought of being left behind awakens Bachira's true ego, as all 3 of these players sync up and devour on the pitch. The ball goes from Ren causing destruction to Baru ripping through the defense to now Bachira obliterating their ankles with his dribble moves. It all leads back to Ren, who scores their first goal of the match, as this was a declaration to Yoichi Isagi. The 3 of them celebrated this goal, but Isagi hadn't moved from his starting position at all. He was still with his eyes closed. Jinpachi Ego was watching from the room, questioning this as well. Isagi then opened his eyes, now in the flow state. What a destructive trio. That goal, it amused me a little bit. So why not score my own? Isagi gets the ball and looks up. The rest of you stay back. I'll win this alone. Isagi heads forward. First to Bachira, who can't even see his moves. Even though he does try to steal the ball, Isagi flicks it off, and he body blocks him sending him to the ground. With one Ronaldo chop, he now gets by smiling. This is almost a challenge. Rin and Baru step to face him, but Isagi had other plans. He takes one final step, and instantly his stance would change, as he quickly shoots the ball. It goes into the goal before anyone could even react. Huh? Oh, that's right. I almost forgot I could do that. All the players on the pitch then wondered what that was, but Ego would have to point out to himself that that shot goes against everything in the fundamentals of football. It had no form nor build-up, yet it was that powerful. Isagi then claims that the real match has just begun, and he goes on to beat Ren's team once again, as after finishing he claimed to be tired and says that Kira can choose their final teammate. He looks around and decides to go with Bachira, since he thinks he could get Isagi open as well. All of them then walk behind Isagi as he enters another dark room. Jinpachi Ego then appears on the screen with a devilish smile and states, "Now, as a reward for your success, I'll tell you how luck works in the world of football." As he begins to explain luck, Yoichi Isagi sits down and goes to sleep, as he doesn't even hear the announcement made about the World 5 match. Well, even if he is asleep, I'm sure this match will interest him. Yoichi Isagi is the definition of luck, as he was born with gifts that could only be comparable to that of Noel Noah. Isagi wakes up a day later, still in this room sleep. Man, how long was I out? Long enough, Yoichi Isagi. Ego then appears on the screen smiling. Tell me, do you believe you are the best striker in Japan? No, I don't. I'm the best in the world. Is that so? What about Noel Noah, or better yet, even strikers who are younger like you, Julian Loki? Yet, they're already on a team. Isagi sighs. You need to remember your place. I chose to come here instead of joining Japan's club teams, or going somewhere else that is offered me. And Julian Loki? I remember him. He's a small fry when compared to me. Isagi then exits the room, and finds his own, where he can go to sleep. As he does this for the next day or so, while his team trains to perfect their own weapons. As soon match day does arrive, and Isagi suits up with the rest of his team. Well, let's see what the world has to offer me now. They walk out, seeing the World 5 team, and instantly, when seeing Julian Loki, Isagi sighs, as he would walk over to him. Yo, Isagi, what do you want now, Mr. Big Shot? Come on, don't be like that, man. You could have been playing for France with me if you took the club's offer. Yeah, but why would I? Yeah, I know, it's not your style at all. Anyway, it seems you chose to come here. Why is that? I can't tell you, even myself. It beats living at home. With my crazy parents, anyway. Loki laughs at this, saying Isagi was still the same after all this time. But, just how good have you become while here? Isagi smirks. I'm the same as ever. And you should know, that means better than you. Isagi then sets up the ball, and the rest of the World 5 players would ask about Isagi and Loki's history, but the match would begin. Isagi dribbles forward, getting around Cabassos and Silva with ease, before shooting and scoring in an instant. That's one. Loki then states to Luna that Yoichi Isagi could have been a part of the Generation 11 if he had chosen to. So, we're dealing with a player that's that good. Luna then starts with the ball and passes to Loki, who dribbles by Nagi and Bachira. He then sees Isagi in front of him and asks him if this was okay, right before he showed off his godlike speed talent. But, Kira would reach for the ball in that same moment, as Loki has to cut back and forth, continuing to burst with speed, avoiding it. But he doesn't even get by Isagi. Isagi stays with Loki, being able to stop the shot, but he still ties the game. Not bad at all, Loki. Seems like you still rely on your speed the most. You could say that, but your speed isn't anything to take lightly. But if we both got serious here, there's no telling which one of us would win. Isagi then turns to him. Are you challenging me again, Loki? It seems that way. Both of them, without question, tap into their respective flow-like states. A cheetah and a jaguar, like aura, would surround the two of them as they prepare to clash. Isagi then dribbles forward with Loki guarding him. Just like old times, it seems. Isagi then performs stepovers one by one and then spins, getting, well, right around Loki. But due to his speed, he's able to recover and keep up. Data Silva tries to get in the way as he's bored watching, but the two of them maneuver around him as if he wasn't there. What the? Isagi and Loki seem to be having fun as doing this, as it seemed like these two were the only ones on the field. These two prodigies even shocked Jinpachi Ego. Don't tell me that Yoichi Isagi is better than Julie and Loki. Isagi breaks his ankles and gets open for the shot, but Luna helps him out, stopping it, sending the ball flying. You're pretty dangerous, kid. We can't let you walk all over us like that. As the World 5 would capitalize on this, scoring a goal, going up by 1. Isagi then stood back up sighing. You know, it's been a while since I got this excited to play football. So this is the power of the World 5. I'll have to thank Jinpachi Ego for bringing me more ants to crush below my feet. Isagi received the ball from Kira and turned, having Kabassos guard him. Kabassos then looks up as he sees a completely different player. This was the true Yoichi Isagi. He gets right by before Kabassos can even react. Wait a minute, how did he? Isagi then looks up, seeing Adam Blake guard him close. Really? You think you can keep up now? Don't make me laugh. Isagi goes to shoot, but Data Silva blocks off the angle. Well, let's even the playing field then. Isagi then fakes the shot and passes to Kira. This shocks everyone, but Kira is able to predict and run by these players. Loki then steps in front of him, but he sends the ball to Bachra, who quickly passes to Isagi, sensing the monster within him. This is where he hits another scissor kick-like shot, as this would tie the score, causing the World 5 to work together even further, as all of them would tap into a somewhat like flow state, as they begin to overwhelm Isagi's team, but not without him scoring another goal, making the final score 5-3. Isagi was standing up while the World 5 seemed to be exhausted from taking him on. Sure, they won the game, but they didn't beat Yoichi Isagi, who stood tall with a serious expression. So this is the world of football. It's pretty fun. So wait on me to get there and destroy you all in a real match. Loki then calls Isagi a monster and that he hasn't changed at all. The next time we play, Yoichi Isagi, I'll defeat you with my skills alone. Yeah, whatever, you goddamn annoying footballer. Isagi then exits, following his team into another room. They get to rest for a little bit, but for the next couple of days they have to study different languages, mainly English. Isagi already knows some of it because of the teams that he's played on, so it isn't hard for him to pick it up. Another thing the players begin to notice is that Isagi sneaks off to somewhat train in secret, or at least practice some of his moves. They would interrupt him sometimes, causing him to say and act as if he wasn't training. But he gives in and begins training with them as well, as the World 5 match had given him a new light, a new drive to become better at football, to truly gain his spot as the best. But first he has to become the best in Japan, which won't be hard for him at all, as he'll soon get his chance. Their team would soon enter a dark room where many more teams begin to appear. After everyone makes it in, Jinpachi Ego appears onto a screen. So, it seems all of you had a great time in the World 5 match. Now, an even greater test has come for you unpolished gems. The U20 Japan team has challenged us to a match. So tell me, will you rise into action, or will you allow your ego to be devoured?